So today I'm going to be looking at King Art's Getter Robo. So here is the figure. I have 4 King Arts figures, and I can tell you that they are expensive. Now this is my most expensive of all my King Arts figures. I had actually forgotten I paid this much for it. This may be the second most expensive figure I've ever bought, but here on Big Bad Toy Store it's $440, and that does seem to be fairly standard. When I look at other places like eBay, King Arts figures, I rarely see them on Amazon. I have a feeling they probably are made in low production. So they're probably fairly rare. I don't know that Amazon would sell them. They get sold through a third-party seller. The thing with King Arts, what they like to do is they like to show the innards of the figure. So what I did is I removed the plating from the right leg and the right arm. And so that's what it looks like inside. Now, if you can't tell, this is plastic. Okay. In fact, I'd say that for a figure this size, it's not exceptionally heavy. It's certainly not light. It does have some pretty good heft. Maybe I'd take that back. I don't know. I believe this is metal up here. I believe the joint in here is metal. It's really hard for me to say how much metal. It's got a nice low center of gravity. I think I say that constantly, but the Japanese seem to be able to figure out that on these high-end figures you need to keep that center of gravity low. So this one stands very easily. Everything is held in. You could see in here, right there. It's magnets, and then magnets on the other side. So everything is held in by magnets. For the most part, everything works great. And when I say for the most part, I'm not trying to damn it with faint praise. It is extremely rare for me to ever have any issues putting these on. They go on very easily. One of the reasons I avoid transforming or combining figures is because of the risk of damage. And anytime you're pushing things in or scraping plastic against plastic or plastic against metal, you risk damaging. But these go on really easily. So there's not a lot of risk of damage because of how easily they go on. Now, there's lots more stuff that can be removed. This can be removed. The cape can be removed. Pretty much everything until you can see the entire innards of the figure. And the Japanese, they love to show these kind of inner workings of the figures, even if it's not necessarily in the cartoon. You might see a promotional magazine or something, and they'll show the innards. They love to do stuff like that. So this is kind of playing on that and showing the inner workings. It was funny because I also have Mazinger, and so I wanted to compare to see how accurate the insides were compared to, say, the schematics that the Japanese had come up with. And what I discovered was that there was no consistency, that different artists would do it sometimes completely differently. So it did resemble one of them, so I guess they chose one and went with it. So I'll show a little bit more on here. Since that's interesting. So I think there are 2 capes, because this cape is clearly cloth, but mine is plastic. So I think I went with the plastic cape instead of the cloth cape. So the cloth cape would be still in the box. And there he's got his axes. Okay, and I believe that you put them on. I don't know if you just slide it in or if the end comes off the right. I guess you just slide it in. And so this is his axe grabbing hands. So there he is. Some stances. So he is nice and posable. Doing a little dance or something. Okay, let's get in here. Okay, so here, this is what you could do also. Not only can you see the innards, but you can replace them with battle damage. So you got battle damage head, every single one of these pieces has a corresponding piece that's battle damaged. So I always put my figures in there in the undamaged state. But if you would like, you could put them in as damaged. So that's pretty neat. You can see there a lot of damage to the face. Every single one of my figures from King Arts has undamaged pieces and damaged pieces. So there's the entire innards from the back. You can see everything's pulled off. There's from the front. Even the head shows the innards. And there is, okay, so there's the difference between the plastic cape and the cloth cape. And again, I chose to go with the plastic cape. And there he is with all the, he's wearing the undamaged plates, and then here's all the damaged plates. And the various hands, including these hands down here, which look like they're without the paint on them. So I guess those are supposed to represent damage or something. I think there's more stuff than this, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway. So I think these are very nice figures. Is it worth $439? That is a lot to pay. And, you know, I know that there's a lot of engineering. And I can tell you that as someone who does have other figures that... No, I don't have any other figures. Well, actually, I do. I do have one other figure that where the plates kind of come up. They actually open up. I think this is very well done for what it's trying to do with the usage of magnets and being able to remove plates, put plates on. $440 for this. What is this, about 10 inches in height? 10.24 inches. So it's not a small figure. You know, it's getting close to 2 feet, a little bit short. You know, more than an inch and a half short of 2 feet. It's hard to say because I will say one thing. I do also have one figure, and now the name is Guy King, and the Guy King I think is much more impressive, and it was less. So it's really hard to say. I don't know that $439 is, but I don't know what it was selling for in Japan. And again, these may be a low production line figure, so that may keep the cost up. But it definitely, this is another one that really looks nice on the shelf. I don't regret getting it. There are, let's see, so we have from King Arts, they're going to be doing Dangard Ace, and this one looks different. I'm not going to really show it, but it looks more like it's a transforming figure. This is Guy King 524. I did not pay nearly that much, and it does look like the one I have, but it's his Black Gold Original Edition. So it looks like it's a different version from what I have. So that may be an inflated price. Mazinger Z, I have that one. Steel Jeeg. I do not have the Mazinger Z. I have the Mazinger Z. What I don't have is the Great Mazinger. So maybe I'll get that. That would make it my fifth. And so that one's $300, which is quite a bit less than this, and it's less than Steel Jeeg at $400. So I don't know why this is so much less. This one just says 1/9 scale. Many of these robots come in dramatically different sizes in the anime. In the figure form, these are all close to the same height. I don't think they really care about maintaining consistency from the anime. I know the Solar Chogokin clearly doesn't care about doing that, since all the Solar Chogokin figures, at least depending upon the lines, they try to keep a certain consistency. in the sizing, even though they're inconsistent with the anime. But I think this is a well done figure, and I'm sure it is difficult to put all these plates together so that they snap in perfectly tight, and you could see, if you didn't know that these were plates, you might, if were not told, you might not suspect that they are. But anyway, so that's the King Arts Getter 1, Getter Robo.